Morning.
Morning, Aaron. How's it going?
It's all good. All good.
Nice, nice. So you caught those GJ
Nice.
buys, yeah?
Yes,
Nice,
I did.
man. Yeah, nice. I even looked on the 15 minute and then I was like, obviously one side exited the full position. I was like, it even gave people a second opportunity to get in those buys because, it left a wick to fill. And let's say you entered in on that 15 minute, even just that wick fill was, 10 pips and then it just squeezed an extra, 12 pips. And then, stop could have been below the previous 15. So there was actually a few opportunities here today for price to
Yeah,
continue up. So it's actually a pretty good Monday to be fair. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens, see if it can retrace, maybe form some support and see if we can buy it back up again. We'll see. Hello sir, at what time you came to the chart? I came to the chart just before London Open is when I usually get to the chart, and then I start the stream at 8:30. So yeah, I think after the new year I'm gonna start it earlier, but I don't want to keep chopping and changing the times around. So yeah, after the new year we'll probably start maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock. But obviously it used to start at 9 because I wanted like all the volatility from London Open to kind of calm down and then take a trade. But yeah, just so we'll see. Might as well remove this now. Out of that position. Close the full position. Morning, Wilson. Yeah, GJ should continue moving bullish to 138, 600, 650. And then once we break 138, 650, we have clean candles coming up to around 138, 960. Is going to be a good second target. If we look on the 30-minute time frame, yeah, it makes sense. This area here, this liquidity zone. Oh yeah, it looks like we did push up over there. I was considering leaving a runner, but then I just was like, you know what? It's Monday. I'm just gonna take what I can get, and then just call it. Get out of that trade. Morning, bro. When you have time, can you please take us through the trade? I hope you had a great weekend as well. Yep, yeah. I'll take you through the trade in a minute. We'll wait for a few people to join. I'm gonna break down GJ here. Talk you through the reasoning for the trade. Oh, look at this, man. They probably should have left a runner. It's moved like another 13 pips. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go through the trade. I started like 5 minutes early today, so we'll wait for we'll give it another five minutes or so, and then we'll run through that. Okay. So yeah, let's wait and see where GJ goes right now. In fact, I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna put it on stream. On the stream there. Everybody see that in the top left hand corner? Good morning, good morning. Oh, this is still going over here. This is still running. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw, but last night there was some positive Brexit headlines. So I think that's also why, we saw this push in Sunday market open. When I was just looking at the charts, I started to notice how we were, starting to create some bullish market structure. Obviously, it was a JPY bank holiday, so it wasn't probably a best idea. Probably wasn't the best idea to take the trade in the Sunday open. So I just thought, if I come to the charts on Monday morning and GJ again is creating further bullish market structure, then we're off to the races at that point. So yeah, this was just clean move, man. Clean moves. Did anyone catch the move? Nice start to the week. Yeah, a few people in the private group caught it. We was all up. A few people in the private group caught these buys. Yeah, so I think the next target over there is 138.960. If GJ retraces and creates support above 138.650, then there's a very high probability at that point that we should continue moving up to 138.950, 960, because this is a 30 pip range. And when we look left, okay, yeah, we have this wick to fill up over here at 138.870, which is going to be potentially the first target. But if you look left, we can see we had this clean move to the left hand side, kind of tapping into this 950 vicinity. So kind of anywhere where's my annotate gone? Anywhere within this area is a liquidity zone. So we could tap so pretty much between 950 and 139 we can tap into. So I would just like if I had a runner target, and I was expecting price to continue up to this area, kind of once we tap into this vicinity, would I just secure positions, because you don't know whether it's going to hit like the top of this range, where these high liquidity grabs were, or it can just tap kind of into this area and then retrace. So that would be the next target after this wick fill over here to the left hand side. Okay, let's go back over here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I got at the break of the high of the bullish candle after that small bearish candle. Then we had the same entry there, Ash. We had the same entry. Yeah, I was expecting this 15, to break this high, maybe continue up. It didn't. But it closed bullish, right? So when it closed bullish, we had a support created. Then, the next candle wick down. There was also London Open. So, the technicals was setting up for maybe a push at London Open, which, yeah, we saw. So, pretty good. Right. So, yeah, I think we should run through GJ first. Oh, just dropped my headset. 2 secs. Okay. Yeah, so I think we can check out GJ first, just discuss the idea, and then we'll go from there. So looking at GJ on the daily time frame, in fact, let's just clear everything because it doesn't really matter. We can readjust the targets, because all of that. So what we can see now is we were talking about the fact that so I did the weekly webinar last night, and one thing that I was talking about was the fact that we had a support formed over here on the daily time frame on the 13th of November, and then reading the candles, you know, we knew that price was ranging, but then obviously last week's Thursday candle came Wednesday candle came down, and it closed below the support. So naturally, you know, yeah, the next candle did like some form of retest and then continue down, and at that point, you know, there was a high probability that price should continue further down. However, when Friday's candle closed bullish, if we notice, it closed above 138.800, right? This is that previous support from the daily time frame. So naturally, you know, I was coming into Monday thinking, okay, well, if we break the high of the previous daily candle, and then, you know, we continue moving bullish, you know, we could maybe come up, fill this wick at 138.870. We could fill this wick at 138.350. So there was options. Then when we go to down to the 4 hour, let's go to the 4 hour time frame, and then what we're going to see on the 4 hour time frame is, I was looking at the fact that we created a support before the weekend back above 137,700. So the fact we created support, I was like, okay, well, if GJ is going to continue up based on the daily time frame, then this support needs to be respected, right? Very important this support is respected, because if we look at the same time what was going on, we also were tapping into this area, you know, kind of retracing a little bit before the weekend, which is only natural. But what I really wanted to see was, I wanted to see a break above this consolidation, right? This consolidation right over here to the left hand side, because we can see how these wicks, right? This area is a very nasty area. We also had these wicks to the left. So last night, obviously, price was pushing up. It did break the high of that previous 4 hour bullish structure. It's pushing up, so that's why I wanted to see, you know, support forming above basically 138.200, 138.300 for price to continue moving up, right? So if we look on the 4 hour, right, if we look on the 4 hour time frame, we're going to see the 4 hour has clean traffic to the left hand side, and the 4 hour has no issues coming up to 139.300. So just looking on the 4 hour time frame, you know, we have clean candle to the left. Obviously, we have this wick over here too that we could possibly fill, which looks like it's going to happen, which is another 15, 14 pips away. That's at around 138.900. If we then go to the 1 hour, you know, we can kind of break down the reason the trade was taken at this point. So looking on the 1 hour time frame, when I came to the charts, price had created a support over here, right? This is the area we created support, 138.150. And then at the same time, you know, focusing on the most recent price action, we also had a resistance, right? So I knew price was just ranging at this point, right? Obviously, we're in a bullish uptrend. Okay, you can see we're in a bullish uptrend, but we were ranging at that point. So I needed to see, you know, some form of break, you know, price to continue up. So let's go to the 30-minute time frame. Now, when on the 30-minute time frame, and again, we could see, you know, prices ranging, you know, all of that stuff. So if I look at this now, I look back and I'm like, okay, well, we had a lot of mess to the left above this minor consolidation. So if we think about it, we had all this consolidation here. This is our most recent price action, but also at the same time, you know, we have this area here. So if we look at this zone, this is a area where, you know, we could cause some issue. But then I looked at it, and something I spoke about last week, and notice how this candle, it came up and tapped into this vicinity, this range, and then rejected. So I was like, okay, if we can come up and kind of close above this wick or break this area, then we may rip through the zone, and then we know we have clean candles coming up to that next resistance, right? So that was the idea. Then we go to the, if we now zoom in on the most recent price action, and then we go to the 15-minute time frame. So when we go to the 15-minute time frame, I looked left because I was like, okay, yes, okay, so finally we've broken above this resistance, right? But at the same time, I'm cautious now because when I look left on the 15-minute time frame, we have a minor support or even a minor resistance on the 15-minute here where we could potentially have some issues. So if we look now, this resistance was at 138, 370. Now when we look left, we can see this is exactly where this 15-minute candle came up and tapped into this area, right? So what I wanted to see was, this candle come up, break the high of the previous 15-minute, and then I was expecting a, push up pre-London Open. So 15-minute candle came up, broke the high in, like the last 8 minutes of the candle. Was expecting it to continue, didn't, but it did close bullish. So essentially, either way, we have a support form now, right? We have a support form now, so there's a higher chance for price to continue up, right? So that set in mind, when London Open came around, we had a little wick down, came up, broke the high, and then we just ran. So the entry was taken right over here. The stop loss was kept below this candle, the previous bearish candle, which is around 8 pips. So the risk to reward was, talk about risk to reward. There's your risk to reward. 8 pip stop loss and a potential 40 pip move that we've just seen happen, right? So yeah, candle came down, wick down, broke the high of the previous candle. Potentially could have waited for this 15 to close, but at the same time, the way it was breaking the high, there was a higher probability we could have just ran at that point, but it just didn't on this occasion. So I still would have taken the same entry on a different circumstances as well. So yeah, then once this first 15-minute candle closed bullish on open, it actually gave it gave buyers a second chance to get in this trade before the train takes off. It's almost like the train said, okay, we got to wait, we've been delayed 2 minutes, right? Now's the chance for people to get on the train, because once this candle wicked up and left the wick to fill on the 15-minute, man, it was a zero drawdown trade. And then from that point, it just ran. So that was your second opportunity. I got out on that first 15-minute candle when, secured 10 pips and then got out of that trade. Didn't particularly want to leave a runner just because it's Monday. I did expect a nice push, but at the same time, we never know. It could have pulled back to create some support and then continue up. It doesn't always just happen so clean. But it's one of those. But it doesn't matter because, we're catching the move and that's it. So yeah, that was the entry, that was the reasoning. So now what we're going to do is just going to break down what potentially could happen at this point. So looking on the 30-minute time frame now, we have a resistance at 138.640. Looking on the 15-minute, we can even adjust this slightly. Yeah, somewhere around this area here, 138.640, 138.650. So what we're going to see is the fact that, okay, this 15-minute candle has closed above 138.650. So either this candle is just going to come up, fill this wick, continue moving up, because again, when we look left, we know we have clean traffic to come up and fill this wick at 138.660. Right, we know we have clean traffic for that to happen. We also know that we have clean traffic coming up to 138.950. So now we're starting to get into that 4-hour territory where we're talking about. So I think if people are still looking for buys, we need a support formed at this point, because price has just been straight bullish. So if you get a support formed at this area, there's definitely a higher probability for the next candle after that support has been established to continue moving up. Okay, so yeah, so we're just going to view it from a 30-minute perspective for the minute, just because we want to wait for the 30-minute candle to also close maybe above this area. So what you maybe want to see is candles just closing above this zone, and then you can anticipate a further push. So yeah, let's look at it from a 30-minute perspective. So yeah, I got in and out of that trade, 10 pips, Monday, bang. Mondays are definitely a hard day for me usually, so it's nice to you know, capitalize on that. Let's move on to EJ. Let's look at EJ. So if we clear everything, because I know that I have a little bit of a sell bias here on EuroJPY. So looking at the daily time frame on EJ, this is a zone. Let's break this down a little bit more detail here because we've got some time. So this is a zone on EJ, right? This is a zone on EJ. So let's talk about this zone. So what we can see is, you know, we had a previous support over here, but notice the wicks, right, into this area, this liquidity being generated for this push up, right? Push up. Okay, tied to tap into this area here again, push up. So now, you know, we saw candles were coming down. This candle closed below this vicinity. This next daily candle also closed bullish, but it closed below this vicinity, tapping into this area. Next daily candle, you know, again tapped into this vicinity and then closed below. So as long as we stay below 123.200, then EJ on the daily time frame should continue moving bearish, you know, and then we should continue down to 122.400, 122.600, and then eventually down to maybe even 121.800, right? So that's a really, really important area. I think this is something definitely to take note of, guys, because, you know, this happens a lot. You know, you see these zones and, you know, you need to be aware of these zones. You're building a picture, right? You're building a picture. So let's build the picture. We know we need to stay below this area for EJ to continue down, right? So let's go to the 4-hour time frame and let's put the same idea into perspective. So now looking at it from a 4-hour perspective, this is our zone, right? This is our zone. Okay, right over here. So we can see this is our zone because let's break down what's happened. So this was once a support over here, turned resistance, you know, price respected. We then broke up at again, returned back to this level, created support. We returned back to this level again, created support. We broke down of this level, returned to this level to try to reject, right? Tried to reject this zone. Failed to do so. Price broke up, so we ripped through this level again. And now we're back at this zone. You know, price is just kind of ranging in this area, but essentially it's still in this downtrend. So once we break this low at 122.800, we should continue down at that point. But it is setting up to create some resistance. So we just want to be aware of this overall zone because this is an important level on EuroJPY. So that being said, let's go to the 4-hour because now we're going to just focus in on the most recent price action. Okay, that is the most important thing now. So what we're going to know is that we know that we've created a support on EuroJPY at 120. Let's just say 123, and that is the low that's being created. We also have a resistance formed on EuroJPY at 123.400. So as long as we stay below 123.400, EJ should slowly continue moving down. It just needs to break obviously this low at 123, and then we have, you know, an area down over here that we can reach, and then we also have another support down over here at 123.300. Going to the 1-hour time frame, looking at the 1-hour time frame. So this is the support that we made from market open. This was at 122 or 123, let's just go with. And then right now, if we focus in on the most recent price action, we can see EJ is just ranging right now. Okay, so if we remove this, this is the resistance on the 4-hour time frame. This is our strong level around 123.400. If we stretch that left, you know, we can see this is a previous support. So this is definitely a strong level. And then what we're going to also notice is, you know, these candles, these bodies are really small. So the 1-hour time frame is just ranging pretty hard right now. So you probably want to wait for a 1-hour candle, you know, to break out of this small range. Because if we break this support, we have clean candles coming down to 122.980, right? So that's based off the 1 hour. Okay, and then if we break above, we have a little minor resistance over here, but once we break that, we have clean candles coming back up to retest this resistance, right? So we do have to be wary of buys and sells, but the overall bias is sells based on the higher time frame. Now looking on the 30-minute time frame, yeah, this is where it gets pretty difficult, because we can clearly see now that we faked out to the upside. It's trying to fake out to the downside. So yeah, I mean, EJ probably doesn't look the best to trade right now. But I think once we start breaking back below this low, then it should continue moving bearish at that point. So right now we're just gonna let EJ kind of settle down and let it do its thing, because I think it had some bad news this morning with the euro. So that could be a reason why. So we can look at that. Let's go back to GJ. Oh, looks like GJ's pushing up. No one told me GJ was kept on moving over here. So yeah, the fact that this 15-minute candle closed above, even more buys could have been taken. Stop below this area, already up 17, 18 pips. So it looks like it's coming up to this vicinity now. So yeah, I mean, there was not one really retracement candle since open. So yeah, it is what it is at that point. So yeah, I think if you missed a move, yeah, this is definitely, the move has been missed. So yeah, so that was Euro JPY. Just looked back at GJ. Let's look at gold. Oh, let's look at gold. Look at the daily time frame on gold. So what we're going to notice about the daily time frame is we know that we're tapping into this support. Price is failing to break the support at 1860. So this is obviously one of these areas where price is a strong level, right? It's a very strong level, a lot of liquidity grabs down around 1850, but generally speaking, we are staying above 1860, 1861. How to look for an entry now? If you're looking for an entry on GJ now, you need to wait for a support, because if you take a buy anywhere, although it may seem price is just continuing, you never want to be that one guy that buys at the high and then sits in a huge drawdown that one time, then it does retrace. So I would wait for a support if I was you, but it may not give it to you, so you have to just accept that you may miss this move. Anyway, going back to gold on the daily. So yeah, we're tapping into a support, price failing through, break support. We also have a resistance up over here, right? That we need to break above for gold to have a chance of continuing bullish. Looking on the 4 hour. So 4 hours a little bit messy over here, but just getting the gist, we can see we're trying to form some resistance over here on gold. So this is this is kind of that daily support area. If we just look left, yeah, that's fine, just somewhere around 1860. Probably even just neaten this up to our most recent support. It's probably going to make more sense. So this is the area. If we just neaten this up, so this is the support on the 4 hour time frame. We can see how we're kind of tapping into this liquidity zone before pushing further bullish. So yeah, I think we need to see some support or a break above this area to come up and fill this wick, because we can see how the 4 hour candles, they tapped into a resistance at 1880. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, time frame, so we can see how these 1 hour candles, yeah, tapped up into 1880, but rejected this overall area. We can see how we're starting to close below this zone, right? And then we also have a support formed on gold at 1871, which coming back down to this support. So we're clearly in bullish market structure based on gold, but we need to see a break above this area, for gold to continue moving up, and then it can continue up to maybe 1883, 1884. So that's something we're going to look at. Looking on the 30-minute time frame, it's going to make a lot more sense now based on the 30-minute, because we can see now that we have a support over here Maybe this was a little fake out, but I'm going to go with this area here because a lot of liquidity was generated, and I think it's pretty risky with gold to look below this zone. So we're going to just focus on this area because then we have a clean candle to the left, at least coming back down to this support at 1867. So yeah, looks like if gold can break above this resistance at 1875, it has a clean move up to retest that high for 35-40 pips, coming up to 1880. So that definitely makes sense now based on the 30-minute time frame. And then yeah, we can see we have further clean traffic above that to 1883. So yeah, we have a couple of targets there for gold. We'll just see how it plays out. But yeah, this is we can see that gold is looking very volatile at the minute. So I would just be cautious. We have a whole lot of liquidity areas here too, so must be very cautious with gold. Trust me, gold is one to break hearts, man, and blow accounts. So GJ's continued up. Gold we've talked about. EJ we've spoken about. Oh, looks like it's trying to fake out, double fake out back above this area. So yeah, maybe it needs to break this minor resistance on the 15-minute, but it may be coming back up to this 4-hour area, to generate some more liquidity and then continue down. So just have to wait. Looking at the Footsie. Let's start with the daily. What we're going to see about the daily time frame, we saw this push that we had, with the Footsie 100. It formed a support to continue up, make a new high. So overall, daily time frame can continue up to around 62.25, and then at the same time, we can clearly see we're creating further support over here. So as long as this support is respected at 62.24 or 62.25, sorry, that's 63.20. So around 63.20, Footsie should continue moving up. Looking on the 4-hour time frame, makes sense because we have a strong support here on the 4-hour, right? We can see at 63.20 that we've reacted to this area multiple times. We've respected this area as a support. We also can see that we have a little resistance over here on the 4-hour, which the current 4-hour is retracing from. And then this was the high that was created around 64.20, right? So looking on the 1-hour time frame now. Looking on the 1-hour, the 1-hour candle came up and is closed above this area. Okay, if we look left, it's closed above this area. So there is a definite higher probability now for the Footsie to continue bullish. This is that support over there. Looks like the 1-hour did like a little fake out down over here. But yeah, we've created a support on the 1-hour time frame also right at this level here for the Footsie to continue up. So looking at the 1-hour now, I've just seen the 1-hour candles closed back in the range. Looking at the 30-minute, yeah, looks like a little bit of a fake out potentially. If we neaten this up based on the 30-minute, it's kind of closed at this area, so it's pretty difficult to say. But I think for the Footsie to continue up, we need a further bullish candle on the 30-minute to to kind of see this range get filled. Okay, so that's what I'm kind of looking for here. Just still watching the Footsie, but just trying to get more used to every day, just how it moves and the way in which the structure works and things like that. So we've got to be aware. So we can see at the 30-minute close at this level. So we need to wait to see if another bullish candle can form here. Otherwise, I think better sells are going to be back below 63.60 because then we have a clean move coming down to the support area. So we'll keep an eye on that. To go back to GJ. Oh yeah, looks like GJ's continued up to that other target over there. So yeah, GJ is just going to keep on running, I do believe. Ooh, man, I was tired this morning. So yeah, I hope people caught those GJ buys though, man. Because if you did, then you should have had a really nice push here this morning. Man, look at these 15 minutes. Just not one retracement. Even on the 5-minute, was just creating support for price to continue bullish. So yeah. So it looks like gold 15-minute candle came down, closed below this area. And then it would seem the current 15 minutes maybe doing some form of retest. Yeah, so the 30-minute candle closed below this area. 30-minute also coming up to do a retest. So need to see. Could have been a good impulse entry, but then gold has no sympathy. AstraZeneca news has pushed GJ this morning. No idea what that is, but I would say what's pushed GJ this morning is positive Brexit headlines, positive vaccine headlines. So if we go to Forex Factory. So yeah, so I think maybe the reason EJ is ranging is because of this, man. This news. Anyway, yeah. Where was it? I was reading something last night. Oh no, it was on. Let's go to Brexit. Where did I read it? Oh, there we go. So there was something on. I read it on Twitter actually. Yeah. So basically, it was something like. Hang on, let me. So yeah, here, this was the news here that I sent to the group that was at yesterday at 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, thinks Brexit deal 95% agreed. Obviously, it's not quite there yet, but I mean, essentially, like, you know, at this point, we're coming into the final. We're coming into the final few moments. So yeah, I mean, should make sense. You need to increase font size in settings. I think it should be okay. Should have big enough screens. Yeah, AstraZeneca is another vaccine producer, and they have a vaccine now along with Johnson & Johnson. Oh, I see. Sorry, didn't really know what you meant there. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think. Oh, look at that 1 hour candle, man. If you just read it for a whole hour. Just if you place that trade based off the 1 hour, and then you just was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave my stop loss here and let it run. Like, wow. Yeah, it should pull. Maybe even it should pull back. It should pull back, but we'll see. Man, if it just keeps on going, it's gonna be incredible. So yeah, a lot of it's kind of more positive, but obviously nothing's set in stone yet. So just remember that this is just all optimism. It's just optimism pushes, but nothing's facts, nothing's set in stone. So you just have to remember that. How was your last week? Last week was very tough. I had a break-even week. So this week I'm gonna looking to come back much better. We all have those weeks, once in a while you need a week like that to kind of, put you back in a position where, you feel humbled by the market, and, you just have to remember that, at the end of the day, you can't control these outcomes. So, psychologically, it was hard as well, being in a ranging market where price was going into 9 pips profit and then pulling back. That was difficult. That was tough psychologically. But, I mean, at the same time, it's just like, yeah, these weeks do occur. And I am only going to get better as long as I just keep looking to improve. Then that's my main focus. I'm not the best. There is no, you can never be the best. You just keep improving based on your own performance, and you just have to focus on yourself. So I've focused this weekend on my last week's performance. So I did a little video for the private group. I went through all the trades that were taken last week, looked at how it could have been better, where the better entry could have been. If there was a move that happened later on, how we could have caught that move. So I looked at everything. So this week, ready to come back again. Already had buys this morning. So yeah. Please look to increase font size. It's too small now. What font size are you talking about? It should be okay. I mean, I'm looking at it on my YouTube and on my phone, and it seems fine. Yeah, I mean, the GJ buys plus 10 pips looks fine. Mentorship reopens. You can read that. 1K subscribers. I can't, if you're talking about this or this, I can't increase that. I can't increase the font size, I don't think. I don't think I can change it. Where's your private group? Private group is on Discord, but it's the to gain access it's hfxtrainingroup.com, but it's not open right now. As you can, it's open. The mentorship reopens from the 1st of December. Go to settings, appearance, scale size. Okay, I'll do it. I'll increase it a little bit. Scale size, go this one. Okay, that should be better now. Is that better? Yeah, that should be fine for you guys now. It's a little bit big, but it should be cool. Gotta stretch it right out to get the actually, I don't like that. I want to take it down just one. Just go 12. Yeah, 12 is perfect. You can see 12 fine. let me just see what it looks like on my phone, and then if it looks okay, then we'll go with that. Yeah, that looks right. That's fine. Slightly bigger anyway, so there you go. GJ continuation or retrace? Well, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna retrace or continue, but I think if you was expecting price to continue, then for a continuation, I think we're gonna need to see a support because price has made a high. You know, all of these candles made a high. So as long if it keeps just printing, we can't call where that high is going to be. You know, we can only look at the levels and say, okay, maybe we could react at this area. Maybe we could react to the wick fill, which looks like it's doing now. Maybe we could react at this resistance. So you just have to wait, see if it can make a high, retrace, and that's it. Any tunes today, bro? Yeah, I'm going to stick some tunes on in a sec because I'm going to go and make myself some food. Starving out here. Absolutely starving. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go do that now. Man, what do you think about trading like 2 or 3 pairs and choose the better setup, clean traffic, and trade based on it? I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. But I've done much better when I just focused on GJ with clean pairs, clean setups, and clean traffic. That's what I did. And it works for me because, you know, different pairs move different as well, so you gotta remember, you gotta take that into consideration when you're taking trades, right? So yeah, I would say one pair. I'd say one pair is the best way. You know, if you want to trade 2 or 3 pairs, that's completely up to you. The reason I have these pairs is partly because of education for my private group. It's partly because, you know, there's correlations. So we're talking about, you know, I'm looking at GJ and the Footsie. I'm looking at gold and the Dow. You know, I'm looking at also GCAD because it's influenced by GDP. And then I've always looked at Euro JPY. So, you know, if I take a trade in Euro JPY, it's maybe like once a month, once every 2 months. Very rare. Something I've seen happen over and over and over again. Like I just printed in my mind, you know, I can just say, okay, yeah, it's going to go. You know, so even the trade I took last week, it was going into profits, but, you know, it just was one of those because we had the vaccine news come out, did a reverse. But obviously I got stopped to break even, so there was no loss there. But had that news not come in, would have just carried on going. So I would just advise one pair, but of course it's up to you. Love the weekly trades review video from your group, Harrison. So informative. Yeah, thanks, Aaron. I think that was going to be really helpful. I mean, I saw that Raja did it, and I was like, oh, that's, you know, that's something that maybe I could do for myself. And then I thought, well, actually, I'm not going to post on YouTube or anything. I think it'll be good for maybe the private group, because then, you know, we can go through the trades taken in the week, and then we can just review as a group, or I'm reviewing my trades, and, you know, as the whole session, and from the live stream, I can review where the better trade could have been taken and things like that. So I think I'm going to do that just for the private group at the end of every week. But yeah, a few people in the group said that they really liked it. So yeah, definitely going to do that on a weekly basis, 100%. So yeah, anyway, GJ has now officially created a high because we have a 15-minute candle closed bearish. So yeah, I think if you're waiting for buys, I think it's going to need to be wait for some retracement and support. There's no two ways about it. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go make some breakfast. Leave you guys with some tunes over here. So let's get the tunes on. Just in the background there. And then when I come back on, we can... yeah, everyone loves this little tune. Yeah, I need to still increase that playlist. So yeah, I'll be back in a minute, guys, anyway. going on, guys? Sorry about that. Okay, let's pause the music for a sec. Okay, so looking at GJ, it looks like this 15-minute candle has failed to, or failing to close bullish. I mean, wow, if this move gets corrected. But yeah, I think if you're looking for buys, would need this candle to close bullish, create some support. What's going on, Black Bull markets? How you guys doing? Yeah, so I had GJ buys from around 138, 360. Secured like 10 pips, but ended up continuing running. So yeah, those buys actually ran for like 50 pips in the end. It's pretty nice. Probably should have let that one lot to run actually. But well, Monday. So yeah, I mean, looking at GJ now, obviously we need to wait for this 15-minute candle to close. 30-minute candle still open. So one or two things can happen here. Either this 15-minute candle is going to close like a weak bullish. And then, you know, if it closes like a weak bullish candle, there is a chance that, you know, price may come down, break that low. And if we do correct this move, I mean, it would make sense because although there was that optimism, you know, nothing's actually changed yet. There's no set in stone Brexit deal yet. So it wouldn't make sense necessarily for price to, you know, just keep on running because it's not definite. But at the same time, we also don't want to presume that this whole move may get corrected yet because, you know, the confirmations aren't there yet. So either it's going to close bullish. If it closes bearish and closes below 138.650, right, because when we look left, you know, this is an area of resistance. So it can either do that, close below this area, and then I think sells would make sense, but at the same time, you know, you may want to wait for some resistance to form because it would be a counter trend. But yeah, I mean, if this candle closes like a weak bullish and the next one breaks the low, there's definitely a higher probability that, you know, price can continue down and correct some of this move. I mean, we've capitalized on that so many times have I taken that trade there. So just got to wait 4 minutes, see how this candle closes and can assess. Let's say this candle closes weak bullish. Can you enter or sell after breaking the low? Yeah, exactly. So kind of what we was just discussing, but we need to obviously wait and see what happens first. So let's wait the 4 minutes. Let's go back to gold. Oh, gold sales looked, yeah, man. So basically, if we look at gold now, the fact gold created this minor resistance was the perfect opportunity for gold to continue down. So gold should continue down, fill this wick over here at 1868, 145, and then hopefully should continue further down to 1867. So we'll see. But yeah, that that structure on gold was perfect. So yeah, this 30-minute just needs to break the low, and then it needs to just, yeah, it should continue down. But yeah, man, this is when I see structure like this on gold, this is when gold makes sense. So GJ looks like it's going to close like maybe a weak bullish, not sure yet. Looking at EJ, yeah, it looks like EURJPY came back above this area. 30-minute closed above this area. Next 30-minute did like a retest, came up to break the high, but then we do have this, you know, minor resistance here too. So EJ is very messy right now. We had a lot of negative headlines this morning for EURJPY as well. Or maybe this is why. Oh, we've had some negative news there on GBP. Yeah, but this is all to be expected, to be fair. Like, this is to be expected, you know. So yeah, 2 minutes left for the 15-minute candle to close. I mean, sometimes if the 15-minute candle closes weak, sometimes the next one can just continue moving up. I mean, if you think about it, it's creating a support. Price made a high. So if this candle closes strong, fairly strong, then you have to say to yourself, okay, there's a high probability that we're going to retest this high at 138, 875, and then, you know, continue moving up. But at the same time, you have to wait for candle to close. Yeah. Ooh, Footsie is dropping right now. Yeah, so it looks like it did close, but see, this is where the Footsie is just so tough, man. So it did, so we know how that 30-minute candle closed at this area. Next one did close bullish, but then this one has just dropped with no comfort, you know, no reasoning for that. You know, maybe because the previous 15 closed are weaker, but I mean, yeah, there was no reason for that drop necessarily. 15-minute candle, we've got like 58 seconds. Will you enter a sell, or are you done for the day? Yeah, I'm pretty. I mean, if there's something that really nice, like if it really makes sense, then maybe. But I mean, yeah, it's nothing to close yet. You know, so we'll see. I don't necessarily, yeah, probably just done for the day, to be honest, but we'll see. Never say never. Oh yeah, there's like gold's dropping over here. Yeah, this would have been a really nice entry on gold. You know, this close of the 15-minute, or as this 15-minute candle is coming up, you know, taking entries, keeping stop loss above this zone, and then expecting this to continue down. Man, that was candle close with barely a wick, but in gold terms that can mean nothing. You know, gold just does what it wants. So GJ should have closed. So it looks like GJ 15-minute actually closed bearish, but if we see it now, okay, if we look at this now, it closed a weak bearish, so we can't take sells. There's no buys because candle closed bearish, so there's nothing right now. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I'd say an impulse entry is going to be risky of the break of the low. I would say that's going to be risky. Stop loss is going to be slightly big. So yeah, I'm not gonna, there's no trade for me right now. SL is big though on GJV. So yeah, I'm not gonna take these sells on an impulse because, you know, if this candle closed weak bullish and then came down to break the low, it would make more sense. But because it closed a weak bearish, yeah, I don't know. It still closed above this area too, you know. So yeah, 30-minute can come down, but at the same time, if the 30-minute comes up and then closes bullish, let's say the 30-minute candle closes bullish, then, you know, you can anticipate the next 30-minute to continue up to retest this high. There's an 80% chance that this high is going to get retested. So right now, current 15-minute candle broke the low, but it's happened in like the first 2 minutes. So if I'm going to take a second trade, it's not right now. Nothing that kind of, yeah, nothing right now. Looks like it's coming down. Okay, right, literally, I'll just be back in 1 sec. Sorry about that, guys. So, right. Yeah, so looking at GJ now, I mean, there's no room to take a buy on the break of the high because, we have a resistance over here. So I think the best thing to do is to wait for the 30-minute candle to close. If you miss the move, you have to accept you missed the move. But if the 30-minute candle closes bullish, there's a higher probability for the next 30 minutes to, continue up to retest this high and then continue on further. So let's wait for let's wait for this 15-minute candle to close. If it closes like a strong candle, then there's definitely a higher chance for the next 15-minute candle, 30-minute candle to continue moving up. The concept of breaking the low in the first 15 minutes is risky because one should wait for top wick to form and sell buy in the second part of the 30-minute. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think in the first 2 minutes is riskier. I mean, there's been times I've done it and it's worked out. There's been times I've done it hasn't worked out. So it's a bit hit and miss. But overall, the reason why this was riskier was because this candle closed weak bearish. If this closed weak bullish, then I think it would have been better. But still, yeah, because it can, flip back up and things like that. So yeah, I mean, you can wait the first few minutes, but then you have to accept you may miss it, so that's I think it just comes with a bit of experience taking that same entry over and over again. You see the different, how it plays out. 1 hour candle still open. 4 hour. So this is coming on to the close of the 4 hour as well. Something that needs to be taken into consideration. But yeah, if this candle closes like a strong bullish candle, then definitely high probability for, the next one to continue up. But then once we reach this high or this resistance, we could just range for a bit until we get more volume come in around pre-New York. So, but yeah. Gold. Let's see if gold. Yes, so gold did continue moving down to 1867. Anybody catch those gold sells? And this was your area to sell on gold. This area right over here. This was the sell, right? It doesn't matter if you took the trade, based on here, over here, over here, down over here, over here. This whole area was the sell opportunity for gold to continue down from 1871 to 1867. So if we measure this range, right, this was a 35 pip range on gold. Okay, so this was the move. This was the sell. And then if it continues, it continues. But yeah, this was all discussed ahead of time. So like I said, this 15-minute candle was doing like some form of retest. So like I said, if it creates some minor resistance, then there's a high probability it can continue down. So it's pretty good. But now that it's kind of tapped into this area, you need to be a little bit cautious. May pull back up. 5 minutes left on GJ. EJ, what's EJ doing? Yeah, EJ's a bit messy right now. Yeah, this range isn't big enough anyway. So I think EJ is just a bit of a write-off. So GCAD moved bullish too this morning. Looks like 15-minute candle is trying to close strong bullish at the moment. Yeah, I don't think for me, there's no second trade really at this point. Stop loss will be just slightly big, and so I'll just wait for this candle to close and then we'll see. Thirty seconds left for this GJ 15-minute candle to close. Looks like it's closing a strong 15-minute candle. So I think if people are looking for buys, stop would be around 12 pips. To retest the highs around 15 pips. Kind of taking into account this area. So I'm going to personally miss this move. But yeah, I mean, unless, yeah. Just stop slightly too big for what I want. So yeah, 15-minute candle closed bullish. Next 15-minute candle should continue moving up. So if you look at the 30-minute candle now, 30-minute candle created a support. Although the body's smaller, it does make sense for price to continue up to retest this high. You got to think, you know, in terms of probability, there's an 80% chance that it's going to retest this area. So buy definitely made sense. But I'm willing to, yeah, I mean, I've already caught buys this morning. So I'm willing to miss this move. The stop was just slightly big for what I wanted to, yeah, for what I wanted to happen. So, yeah, there you go. You should have a 0 drawdown trade so far. So if you got in on the close, you know, you can secure some profits up over here. See if you can let a runner run to 138,870 and then continue up to 138,940. Yeah, so far 0 drawdown. Look at the 5-minute. Yeah, even the 5-minute was creating bullish structure. Do you usually wait for a bottom wick before entering? No, not really. Not all the time. Sometimes I might be like, okay, well, if this candle comes down first, you know, try to create some form of bottom wick first, I'll then execute the buy because then I can get a better stop loss position. But most of the time, you know, when I've waited, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get in on the close because then I'm just can get my entry, set my stop loss, let the trade, you know, candle create some form of bottom wick and then continue moving up. But there's, you know, some instances that, you know, as the candle's coming down to create some form of bottom wick, then yeah, I can maybe add a position or yeah, take the entry. But most of the time it's on closes. Most of the time it's based on closes. There's just certain situations that, you know, like for example, let's say you didn't get in on the close of this 15-minute. When this first 15-minute came down, it pushed down around 3 pips. So this is where you potentially could have taken the buys, and then it shot up. So yeah, GJ should continue moving bullish at this point. Should continue up. But right now, if you took buys on the close, you know, you should be good. And there you go. Pushing now. No drawdown so far. You know, so as these candles coming into profits, you know, you want to be managing the trade at this point, because yes, it has no bottom wick. Yes, you could say, oh yeah, well, it may come down to create a bottom wick, but really it's already pushed so far, you know, 7 pips into profit. You know, chances are it shouldn't necessarily need to retrace to create a bottom wick. It may do, but I mean, looking at it now, it should just continue moving up. I'm here for that not moral. I'm here for the psychological support of people who are in these buys right now. There we go. GJ's pushing now. So yeah, you should be securing positions at this point. Right, should be securing positions. And then, yeah, nice. Just hit that resistance now. So I think at this point you may want to leave, you know, partials to continue up to 138.80. But that's the point at which, you know, the real high would have been retested. But remember, we have a resistance here as well. So this is definitely an area I would be securing something, 100%. I didn't enter because I thought the move could get corrected. Yeah, it could get corrected, but if you look, this 15-minute candle, it closed a week bearish, and then we had another 15-minute candle close bullish. So for the move to get corrected, we would need to see like a weak support being formed here, like a weak bullish candle. Next one coming down to break the low and then, you know, continue down. So I think once this 15-minute candle closed bullish, it was the indication that there's a higher probability now that we are going to continue moving up. And as you can see, you know, this is the second buys that happened today. That was just perfect. Absolutely perfect. Definitely should be securing profits now. It's up around 11, 12 pips, you know, so this was perfect. Zero drawdown as well. Man, I probably should have gotten those buys again, but I just wanted to call it a day. But yeah, man, zero drawdown. If you got right in on the close, waited for the close, didn't get FOMO, didn't take a buy up over here, you waited for the close, then man, it would just been a nice, easy 11 pips. If it closes above 138.18, 138.18 can get it to 139 level. 139. I mean, yeah, yeah. I think 950 is gonna be the area, but at the same time, like uh yeah. I don't know. I think the buy was over here, to be honest with you, because this candle can just continue running up to 138, 950. It can do that. Um, I just say if you measure the range above this area is only around 12 pips, so yeah, I think it's gonna be better. I think the trade was here. There was a few opportunities for buys this morning. We had the break above this area, 15-minute candle close, wick fill. We had these buys when support was formed. So yeah, man. Yeah, but I also think, as I was saying, this resistance here was definitely a point to secure something, because you can see now the 15 minutes retracing from this area. So I know there's some of you here that didn't secure positions over here, expecting, this candle to keep pushing, holding positions, and now, you're regretting the minute you didn't secure up over here around 10 pips. So this is a really good lesson why you should secure something at the high, secure something at the low, and then let a position run. Let something run to see how far it can go if you really want to. Or you just say, okay, well, I'm gonna get in here, get out here, 10 pips, and then I'm out. Get day done. So yeah, it's been a pretty good day today so far this week, I have to say. Monday's been a good day. Caught some buys. Called out second buys over here for GJ. Gold sells also called out. Played well. EJ just doing nothing. Footsie. Yeah, so today's been pretty good. Today's been pretty good. Like to see where New York takes us. Be interesting to see where we go with the MY session. Yeah, today's already been better than last week put together. Yeah, man. See if we got any more news here. Anything? Can you set Magic Keys BE a little bit in profit? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. You just press. I think you just press BE. Like you just go break even whenever you want to go break even, or you can set it at like an auto break even, so it goes break even once you hit a certain amount of pips, which is I usually go break even from about 8, because once it hits 8 pips, it has no reason coming back into a drawdown. You know, you gotta think, if you're 8 pips in profit, are you really gonna want to go sit in drawdown? I don't think that's a good idea, personally. But yeah, looks like the euro had a lot of negative headlines here this morning. What's this? What is this? Is that true? When was that? Anyway, I'm gonna read that. So yeah, hopefully people did secure positions on GJ, because the 15-minute candle is coming to a close now. Yeah, I definitely recommend Magic Keys, man. Ooh, looks like gold is continuing down to fill the wick on the 30-minute. Even the 30-minute given options there. 30-minute also created a resistance. Wick to fill, already filled it. Well, already filled a position to secure profits. And so gold was nice here today as well. Yeah, gold should continue moving down. So it looks like GJ 15-minute candle closed bullish, and you can see it's really tapped into the high and resistance over here. So I would be careful now if you're still in buys. I would be cautious. It can continue up, but at the same time, you know, still be cautious. If it breaks the support, what's the level it can reach, GJ? If it breaks the support and we look left, we have a clean move here now. So if it does correct this move, then we should head down to 138.350. Maybe even bring this down now to this area, 138.300. Probably going to be the target for sells now at this point, if you're looking for sells. So yeah, I really hope people secure profits on those buys. Otherwise, that would be. I hope they did. Yeah, see now if you look at GJ, current candle broke the low of the previous 15-minute. So this is why I think it's very important to secure profits up at this high. Very important. So just a couple of things, a couple of reminders here. So remember guys, we'll be doing that free Magic Keys giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed. You're going to be automatically entered into that. Other reminder, mentorship reopens on the 1st of December. It's pretty good. Looking at the 1 hour now, looks like the 1 hour may flip bearish. Could come down and fill the wick at 138,600. 30-minute candle also flipping bearish at this point. So yeah, this is just a typical, this is a really, really good lesson why to secure positions at the high. Okay, so for those of you who didn't and now you're sitting in a drawdown, I mean, yeah, I said beforehand, make sure you secure some positions at this area because we may not reach this high. And as you can see now, price is coming down. You'd be sitting in a drawdown, and you're gonna be pissed off at yourself. So make sure you always secure positions at the high or the low when you're buying to retest that high. So looking on the 30-minute now, I mean, if this 30-minute candle comes down and breaks this support, then there's a higher chance we could correct this move. As you know, necessarily speaking, yes, Brexit is trying to get done and all that type of thing. But do remember that no matter what happens with Brexit, no matter what happens with COVID, it's not necessarily about that. It's about these things have economic effects, and at the end of the day, these restrictions that the UK, the EU are imposing are having massive economic repercussions. So we have to remember that fundamentally speaking, the economies are just deteriorating, right? So even if Brexit gets done, it may just, spark a lot of optimism and it sounds great. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, all of this is just more economic uncertainty. So when someone should take the trade at the close or the break of the high or low, the same as this. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you mean, Ash. When someone should take the trade at the close or the break of the high or the low. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you mean. I think you mean should someone take the break of the high or the close? Well, that's up to you. That just depends on the situation. So yeah, that depends. Because the break of the low is more an impulse entry, whereas the close is you're just expecting the next candle to also print that same way. So if we look at GJ now, I mean, if it does break this support, I mean, there's a high probability we can continue moving down for sure. So we'll see what the 30-minute does. Imagine if we catch sells later on. That would be crazy to correct this move. That would be mad. All in the same day. Oh, okay. Yeah. It just all depends. It depends. I think on this particular occasion, the best entry would have been on the close, because then you had a straight 11 pip move with 0 drawdown. So yeah, I'd stick to closes on those certain scenarios. So we've got around 4 minutes left for the 30-minute candle to close. Let's put some tunes on here for a minute. Yeah, nice easy tune just to chill out here while we come to the final parts of the stream. Last half an hour or so of the stream. 30 minutes coming down. If it breaks this support, it's a high chance for price to continue down, but then you got to think about stop loss is going to be way too big for a sell at that point, so you need some form of probably resistance is going to be better below this area on the 15-minute time frame, but we'll see because it kind of hasn't closed at this point yet. Okay, so if we look at the 30-minute now on GDP JPY, we can see how, The 30-minute candle has closed above this area, but it did close bearish. Looks like it's rejected this area too. Looking at the 15-minute, 15-minute also closed above. 1 hour candle's still open. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think there's no sells right now. There's definitely no buys. So yeah, maybe this move could get corrected, but probably not gonna happen while we're on the stream anyway. Looks like the 30 minutes broken the low of the previous 30-minute candle. 15-minute candle also broken the low of the previous 15-minute. Look like it's dropping there. Still think that's a pretty risky move at this point, considering we still are in a bullish uptrend. So it's pretty risky. Yes, I'm gonna take the music off there for a minute, just while we wait to see what happens with GJ. Okay, let's check out gold here. Oh, look at gold, man. So if people are in gold sells, you know, up over here, man, these sells are running in right now for like 50 pips. Yeah, so it looks like gold continuing down, or gold's still dropping. So I think next target's gonna be 1863, 500, somewhere around there. You know, this whole we have a couple liquidity zones here on gold. The first one is kind of this area right over here. It's our first area which we're tapping into now. So what may happen is obviously we've tapped into this area. I may see a slight pullback, you know, generate some more order flow below 1867, and then, you know, gold should rip right through this zone, and then we should eventually come down to this kind of next liquidity zone below 1863. Yeah, kind of anywhere between 1863 and 1862, because if we think about it, look, so this was an area of liquidity to the left hand side. You know, we can see how we tapped into this area multiple times, and then this move down, this huge impulsive move down, it immediately got corrected, right? So this was a fake out. This move down was a fake out, right? This move down was a fake out. Okay, and then when we did the fake out, we came up and we closed back above 1866, right? So essentially, if we're closing back above this area, you know, either we could reject this zone now and then start to, you know, come back up, because we've tapped into that liquidity zone. We've tapped into the zone, could retrace, you know, create some more resistance for more sellers to get into the market, and then, you know, we can clearly see price will or should push through this zone, and then we should reach into this next vicinity. So gold was pretty good today. Gold was good today. Definitely going to take note of this gold move, because, you know, these are the moves that if I'm going to take a trade on gold, these are the moves I want to be taking. You know, nice strong confirmations, you know, yeah, just real nice. So yeah, so that was gold. GJ coming back up, so I think GJ just ranging right now, so just need to wait. EJ just come back. Yeah, EJ is just GOAT. EJ is just GOAT today. Hey, he's back.
Yeah.
How's it going?
I'm back. Yeah, good.
Nice.
GJ, ain't that much, is it?
Nah, not since
that move.
Yeah, not since that move. I called out, you know, the second opportunity. If people missed that whole push, you know, then there was the opportunity for buys on the close of this 15-minute candle. You know, we had a support created. It was a strong, healthy candle. 0 pip drawdown, straight 11 pips. And then obviously it retraced. But I didn't actually take that second trade. If this candle just closed a little bit smaller, probably I would have taken it. Just stop would have been around 12. And just because I had a 10 pip win this morning, not particularly wanting to, you know, potentially risk like a full position loss. So it did make sense though, you know. So if I missed these buys, that would have been my buy right over here. This would have been the buy. And then, you know, would have secured profits at this point. Called it a day, and that was it. So there was a few opportunities for buys this morning, but it was nice to see a lot of us in the private group caught those buys this morning too.
Yeah, like I did have a runner up to 138.60, 600, but I closed out at like 138.550, so a little bit earlier.
Still pretty good though.
But I thought because it's a Monday, around 20 pips.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
I was like,
yeah, I think if you have a runner and you see your runner at like 20 pips, 30 pips, you know, necessarily speaking, you don't have to let it run like more than that. You can secure more positions. So there's, yeah, definitely, mate. But I was going to leave a one lot running. And then when I started to see this kind of retrace and it was back at 10 pips, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to close the one lot. But then if I let the whole one lot position run, you know, we could have had, man, I could have had a good day today on a Monday.
Big day.
Yeah, it just is what it is, mate. You know, it is what it is. But yeah. So to be fair, like start of the week, this is a great start to the week because usually Mondays, killer. So yeah, just got to go in tomorrow, same again, and so So yeah, I'm really pleased with today. I mean, if you think about it, like, you know, my win today has just set me back already, like, just ready for this week, you know, right in a good position.
Yeah, you can't go wrong taking a win on Monday.
No. And especially this was a nice move as well. This was a real nice move.
I was actually waiting like from the start of last week to get buys above 138, 300.
Yeah.
But it never did.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We always said once we broke above 138, 300, we're off to the races. And as you can see, it just really did do that. Really did do that. So yeah, the market definitely gave plenty of opportunity today to pay people. So this way people need to be focused, pay attention. And then, you know, even gold sells were just so nice. You know, didn't take it, but at the end of the day, you know, had I been in those sells, man, that would have been so good. Even GCAB moved nice today. Price made a high, retrace, formed support, boom.
It's real nice.
So yeah, definitely pleased about that. Yeah, I think GJ is just consolidating right now. Is there more news? Because this candle just moved a little bit quick for my liking. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, maybe it's because of just what I've just seen on Twitter. I've been using Twitter now. I've been following a few people on, you know, been following Twitter a little bit. So just had some guy just tweeted that there's rumors an emergency temporary Brexit deal to be agreed this week, and that the no deal is really happening. So if this is true, important to point that this will not be a deal. Essentially, it's an extension. The problem does not go away. Man, imagine if that's true. If that's true, that's going to be crazy. A temporary Brexit deal, basically meaning there's a no deal. I'd like to see if that one gets confirmed. I'd like to see how markets react to that. Because if we look now, I mean, this candle came all the way up, and then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that I'd definitely like to hear if that's true. For sure. Yeah, 1 minute just flew up. 1 minute just flew up. I don't even have the 1 minute on it. But yeah, no. It could be true. Could be true. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this 15-minute candle closes. I think if the 15-minute candle closes below 138, 650, then if we look at the 30-minute, the 30-minute is now created, you know, some form of top wick. The last 30-minute candle, you know, looked like a rejection, lower high. So if the candles do start closing back below 138, 650, I think the move could get corrected, you know, because necessarily speaking, nothing's changed from like a factual standpoint. This is just all based on optimistics. So we'll see. But I probably will. Yeah, literally after the stream, I'm just gonna call it a day. To be honest, got some things I've got to do this afternoon. But yeah, looks like this 15-minute candle's now flipping back bearish to potentially close below this area. So there is a possibility for sells. You know, if we see the 15-minute candle in 5 seconds is trying to close below. Overall 30-minute now is technically breaking that low of the previous 30-minute after creating a high. Let's look at this. So I think looking at this now, 15-minute candle closed below. Yes, the 15-minute candle is a weaker time frame confirmation. But if I was personally going to take sells, it would probably be an impulse entry. Stop maybe a little bit too big. But you see, the impulse entry is going to be better because if it does break this low, there's a much higher chance we should continue down, because this 15-minute candle, as you can see, is now coming up. And if it does just come up, people are going to be pissed that they didn't take the entry down over here once they got the confirms. So if this candle does make some form of top wick, breaks flips bearish and then breaks the low, I think there's a very high chance that some of this move may get corrected. But yeah, I mean, if it does just come up bullish, then there's no sells, so it was definitely important to wait for the break of this low, because look at this right now. People took sells and draw down. Yeah, I hope no one took sells straight away. I would personally have waited for the break of this low, because it's against the trend as well. Remember that. And 1 15-minute candle is not necessarily a strong enough confirmation. 30-minute candle still open. If it closes bullish in 30 minutes, then your sells are invalid. When did you start the trade? I am not in no trade. I had buys down over here. I closed somewhere over here, and that's it. Or what may happen as well is this 15-minute candle, it may close a weak 15-minute candle, maybe closing below this area, so if then the next one breaks the low, that high probability for continue down. Yeah, breaks the low and stop loss at current candle. Yeah, I think once it breaks this low, yeah, you could kind of have, I think stops would be originally like above that area, and then as it starts to push into profits, you bring it above the current candle. Yeah, I mean, imagine all these headlines about 95%, 95% done Brexit deal, and then now we're seeing headlines of potentially like no deal, basically. So yeah, I think a break of the low would be a good entry point, because then if it broke the low, you could have a stop above the current candle, which is only going to be around 10.8 pips, as I say. But maybe just originally keep it above the previous candle, because obviously if it does just flip back up, you don't want it to hit full stop loss. Gives you a chance to manage risk. But yeah, I think once it breaks the low and flips bearish, it's gonna continue moving bearish. But not if the 15-minute candle closes bullish back above this area. Then there's no sells at that point. Oh, look at this retracement now. Oh, yeah, there we go. So now that the 15-minute candles flip bearish and broken the low, I think people should, yeah, I think sells should play out over there. 10 pips stop loss, 11 pips stop loss to price to continue moving down at this point. I think that's gonna be good. Yeah, I'm not gonna take these sells. I mean, wow, if these sells play out, man, the market really went to pay people today because there was buys, second opportunity for buys. Now you've got opportunity for sells. So wow, that's pretty amazing. But yeah, obviously this is an impulse entry, so slightly riskier. Remember that, slightly riskier. But we'll see. Maybe if this candle closes like a weak bullish and then the next one breaks the low, it's gonna be good as well. Yeah, we're coming into the last 9 minutes of this 15-minute candle. When did you start trading? I started trading in 2017. 2016. I started learning 2017. I would class like actually trading. So yeah, once this candle closes, we're gonna call it a stream. But I mean, yeah, price should continue moving down. GJ should continue moving down. So the 1 hour came down to fill the wick. So once we break this 1 hour wick, or even if the 30-minute, right? So if you're in the sell, right? Let's say how you're gonna manage this trade. If you did take the sell as an impulse entry, how I would manage this trade is I would either, if the 15-minute candle closes bearish below this area, then I would say the trade is definitely still valid. You know, if we come down and break the zone low, then it should continue moving down at that point. I would say if the 15-minute candle closes bullish above this area, then the 30-minute candle also closes bullish, right, above this area. So I would say that the sells become a lot harder at that point. Their probability is a lot lower. If we look at the 15-minute candle closing below this area but bullish, I think the sells are still valid, but it needs to break that previous 15-minute candle low for price to continue moving down. Okay, so right now it's kind of doing what it did to me last week, where it would break a low, look like it's going to drop, then it would flip, and then maybe in like the last few minutes, does it then continue in its given direction? I mean, if we look at the 5-minute, if it creates, you know, some resistance here, then yeah, it looks pretty good to continue down. So we'll just see. I'm gonna stick around for the last 7 minutes of this 15-minute candle, and then, you know, we'll assess it from there. But the sells are definitely starting to, like, the probability for sells has increased, right? The probability for sells are increasing slowly. So this was the first point at which there was a higher probability, was when we broke that low. If the 30-minute then closes below, there's an even higher chance. You know, if the 15-minute candles are closing bearish below with rejections to the upside, higher chance. So yeah, I think if you're in sells, let's wait for this 15-minute candle to close, right? And then you can adjust, or you can assess the risk at that point. Yeah, I think today's been a really great stream, a really good stream. So I hope people, you know, go watch the recap. If you missed the start of the stream, if you just turned up, I highly recommend watching from the beginning, because we're going to break down how these buys were traded, the second buy opportunity. Gold sells were called out today. Potential now GJ sells. If this play out as well, then, you know, it's gonna be it's gonna be good. So as long as these 5-minute candles just stay below, 15-minute candles stay below this area, then GJ should continue moving down. So yeah, we're coming into the last 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, if this 30-minute closes below this area, man, oh yeah, looks like the 15-minute candle wants to go back in this direction now, looking like in the last few minutes. Exactly what it did to me last week. You know, exactly what it did to me last week. You know, pulled up and then the last few minutes. Oh, nice. Here we go. So I hope people are in these cells right now. Oh, yes. Go on, DJ. So yeah, I think at this point, if you're in cells, I would be bringing stop loss above the current candle now. So price should continue moving down at this point. And for those of you who didn't take this trade, even like me, I've seen this happen time and time again, right? So now we have to say, okay, how could we have caught this sell? How could we have caught this trade, right? So, you know, oh man, this stream today has been excellent. There has been at least 4 or 5 opportunities today, at least. All discussed. So yeah, this is really nice to see. I think at least part of this move should get corrected at this point.
It's funny because like last week there wasn't even that many good opportunities presented like this today.
No.
And there's like 5 of them today.
Yeah, in one day. Yeah, I mean, look at this now. Perfect. See, if I missed the buys, I would have been in these cells. You know, if I missed this way, I caught. Yeah, this was just, today was the day market was going to pay people. So yeah, I think if people are in cells at this point now, you know, you can manage the trade perfectly because, you know, at this point, it's closing bearish. It's got 2 minutes left to close. 15-minute candle should close bearish. So long, even if it closes bearish, so somewhere up over here, it paves the way for the next 15-minute to also continue down. So we see these nice rejection wicks. So yeah. Oof, sorry, I just had to sneeze there. Ain't got Rona. I'm in this one. Nice. Should I close half if it retraces back to entry? That's up to you. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, to be honest with you, like at this point, it's very hard because the next candle can come up to do some form of retest. So you have to take that into account. But I mean, if this candle, you know, pushes fairly further down and it's like 7-8 pips in profit, then yeah, that would make sense, you know, considering you don't particularly want to be sat in a drawdown. But yeah, I would just, I think your concern here is in the next 1 minute 30 for this 15-minute candle to close bearish, right? Make sure the 30-minute closes below, and then you can just manage the trade at that point. You should see a nice continuation down at this point. Okay, so as long as the 15-minute candle closes bearish, then yeah, I would agree. The sells are still valid. But I mean, if this closes bullish, let's say this 15-minute, now that it's retraced, closes bullish, at that point I may say, okay, maybe you could reduce the risk. But remember, the overall 30-minute candle still closing below. So we could see the next 30-minute kind of wick up and then start to drive down, fill this wick, and then continue up. Okay, but if this 30-minute closes above this range, then yeah, this was just like a liquidity grab. But yeah, I think it should be okay. We'll see. It's got 30 seconds left. But I think the sells made sense. I would have been in sells if I hadn't already taken buys.
It's just tough because on the 4 hour you've got a chance to continue up, and it's only an hour in. Looks like we making a bottom wick, but it could come down to retest that whole range area we had last week.
Yeah.
So I just have to see that.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, let's see how this 15-minute candle closes, and then I can, because I'm going to call it a stream here in like 5 minutes. Well, yeah, probably after this. So looking at the 15-minute, okay, yeah, now it's closing healthier. So I think now that it's closed healthy, I think your trade is still valid. You know, I think if you're in the sell, you know, stop loss would be now reduce the risk. It should be above the previous 15-minute. I think it's going to be okay. You may be expecting this candle to create some form of top wick, but overall, if we look at even the 5-minute, it kind of should stay below this area here, right? This minor resistance that's being created, it should stay below this area. I know it's coming up to break it, but it can just be like a liquidity wick. So I think you want to see 5 minutes closing below this area, right? So if I see a 5 minute come up, maybe start closing above, then maybe, but yeah, I think you should be okay. I don't want to overcomplicate it. But yeah, once it breaks the previous low, at that point, I may even, if I was in sales and this current candle comes down and breaks this low, that's probably the point at which I'd start looking to like either reduce the risk to the current candle now, or even just look to, okay, now the point, if it breaks this low and then it retraces back to my entry, I'm gonna probably reduce risk and things like that. So yeah, just probably want to let this 15-minute candle do its thing. You know, so at worst way, it's broken below. It's going to create some resistance here to continue further down. That's at worst way. So you just manage the trade at that point if we get candles closing bullish and things like that. So yeah, that's fine. Sorry, how many years have you been trading? I've been trading 4 years. 4 years. But I've been trading properly, like probably 3 years. Yeah, this goes 3 years. Learning the whole process. Learning about trading for 4 years. So let's just say it's taken me 4 years to get to this position of trading live every day, you know, trading with higher lot sizes. It's taken me 4 years of a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. Still go for it now. So yeah, if you look at the 30-minute, it should respect the high on the 30-minute. That's going to be your obviously overall area that it needs to respect for price to continue down. But yeah, so anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to shoot off. I'm going to call it a stream here today. Today has been a really, really good stream. Obviously, it's the one day that Kelsey didn't turn up. Don't know if that's coincidence or... No, I'm joking, but... No, I'm joking. So yeah, good stream here today. Hopefully, we're going to have a great stream again tomorrow. I think we're going to have a really good week this week. I would be cautious as well, just because there's been some very contradicting headlines approaching. So I mean, until something's announced and set in stone, just trade with caution. Keep those things in the back of your mind. Price can just fly up with announcements and things like that, so make sure you have a stop loss. If you don't have a stop loss, I don't feel sorry for you. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for coming on. Guys in the Zoom, thank you very much. And yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow.
See you later. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow for the stream. 8:30 GMT. So from the new year, guys, gonna be starting the streams earlier, but that's gonna be from the new year, okay? Because right now I just think it's a bit awkward to keep chopping and changing. Looks like this 15-minute candle's flipping bearish. So whoever's in sales right now, I think you're gonna be perfectly good. I would be holding these sells. Once it breaks this low, it should continue moving down at this point. So yeah, I think you guys are super good here. But yeah, thanks everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Hope if you're in sales, it plays out for you. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. No over trading, guys, because remember, the market's presented a lot of opportunities today so far. So it's not going to happen, you know, the rest of the day. So please, 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 no over trading. Don't screw your hard work up. We'll see you all tomorrow.